Jade Novah, my life, my heart, my ears, yes. Hello everybody, it's Gerald, and it's time for another episode of VLOTH, that is Vocal Lines of the Hour, and this time we're talking about a very special person on YouTube. Her name's Jade Novah, and she covered Bruno Mars' That's What I Like. I thought that her approach to the song was absolutely masterful for many ways, so as usual, there are 5 points where I want to talk to you about her vocal performance. So let's cut to the chase and get to the music, and let's get this thing started. Before we get into it, let's take some time to break down Jade Novah's strengths and weaknesses. First of all, Jade Novah has a connected, well-built voice from top to bottom. She's a very pure singer and is very abnormal to find any rough edges to her voice. She hits her highs with ease and her lows with ease, and she can very healthily change the timbre of her voice. Also, Jade Novah plans her vocal lines very well in terms of where she does her tricks. She organizes what she does vocally as if she were conveying a point, like an essay. She alters her melodies in all the right places, and her vocal lines have very unique structures. And for my last strength, she isn't trying to impress you. She doesn't need all of the vocal acrobatics because she is telling a good story with her already stellar vocal performance. She states her vocal point very simply and reveals the true brilliance of her voice at the right points and never for too long. However, I have yet to hear her be vulnerable vocally. Though her voice is beautiful and moving, I still feel like she hides to some degree. She hits her belts well, and I just have yet to hear her sing like her life depends on it because it's so easy for her. Also, I think her great technique has a way of taking some character from her voice, so I don't find her voice to be super distinguishable. Point number 1, Bruno Mars, when he sang the song, was in much more of a sing-rappy style. It came off very egotistical, which actually really works with his brand. It's actually not a bad thing for him. But Jade Novah had a different take on That's What I Like, in that she was singing a lot more than Bruno Mars was. She added notes that weren't quite there in the original recording, and that's really expected of a cover. But Jade Novah still had the swag, the original swag of the song. For example, in the opening line of the song, Bruno Mars sings, "I got a condo in Manhattan." I got a condo in Manhattan. He drops off of the line in more of a talky style, but Jade Novah sings more of a, "I got a condo in Manhattan." She adds 2 notes to it. And that's just a little bit of what Jade Novah did with the entirety of the song. She took what was a little more of a rapish, talkish style of singing, and she brought it more into a singer's lane, all while maintaining the original attitude that is in the song. Point number 2, Jade Novah has a really great way of navigating around the chords of the song with her voice. She sings around the chord progressions, outlining some of the transitions that are happening from chord to chord. For example, where Bruno Mars sings, "Girl, let's put some miles on it," but instead of singing that original line, Jade Novah sings. So 2 things happened there. Jade Novah not only sang into the chord with an extra note, miles on it, she actually adds another note on the way down. And part of why that feels so good is actually my 3rd point. Jade Novah has an amazing way of singing right in the pocket. In this little performance that she gives, she doesn't add anything rhythmically to the song. Everything that she sings is in the original meter of the song. If she adds a run, she adds some 16th notes instead of 8th notes, just to give it a little bit more pizzazz. But not only that, we have some variations in the way that she uses her vowels. And she uses her vowels and her consonants like drumsticks. One of my favorite teachers in the world, Miss Karen Burke of the Toronto Mass Choir, actually talks about using consonants as drumsticks. But I'm going to take it a mile further and say that she not only uses her consonants as drumsticks, she uses the opening and the closing of vowels as part of that percussiveness. For example, when she sings, "Jump in the Cadillac," what she does in that line is she heads straight to the final consonants of her syllables. Jump. Then she uses the P from the word jump to give the word in some more percussiveness. Jump in. And the C in Cadillac already has that percussiveness, but she goes again to the L's and to the other C of Cadillac. Cadillac. And she moves all the way down that line without any inflections. That percussiveness in juxtaposition to the rest of this smoother style that she's bringing to this song actually gives the song a little bit more of a dynamic feel. Miles on it. See? Point number 4, she substitutes a beautiful line at the end of the first verse. I especially love the way that she kind of did a little Jack in the Box type thing, popped up, then came back down at the end of the line. Take my wallet if you wanna know. I'm telling you, there are so many things that this woman is doing on this song, in this cover, and she doesn't have to do like the amazing ad-libs or runs. She's just adding these very little decorations and trinkets that give you, I guess, a snippet into her style, and it's amazing. And sorry, I gotta tell you, I'm gonna call this 4A or 4B, whatever. Another beautiful line that she creates at the end of the song. Yeah. Oh my gosh, like, sang woman, yeah! And point number 5 is a little nerdy on my part, but Jade Novah has a way of controlling her vibrato on certain syllables. It gives a really great dynamic feel to lines that were otherwise straight or repetitive. For example, when she sings, and you got it if you want, she has a little bit of a flutter there. All together, I'm waiting for Jade Novah's album. I'm waiting for it. Like, the woman is brilliant. And shout out to her husband, who actually produced that cover. Like, the two of them together are just really a dynamic duo, and they're gonna do some damage. They are so amazing. I actually should recommend to you her song. What's it called? It's called Birdsong Unafraid. I'll put a link to it in my description, because the woman, just everything that they're coming up with is absolutely amazing. You need to hear it. Jade Novah, if you're watching this, I actually thoroughly love what you're doing. Keep going. Let me hear your album before everybody else. Well, yes, that ends another episode of VLOTH, Vocal Lines of the Hour, but that doesn't have to be the end of the conversation, because I'm right here on my channel and you can talk to me through the comments, because I know that a lot of you are vocal analyzers like I am. You can also subscribe to this channel, because this is the place where we think deeply so that we create art that changes the world. I'm O'Neal Gerald, and I'll see you later. Bye, everyone.